Hello everybody, my name is Dragon. Welcome back my channel Health Fitness 1047. Here is the episode new. Follow me.
Squid Game, the never-ending game by Wong Dong-hyuk. After the global success of Squid Game Season 1 in 2021, director Wong Dong-hyuk faced immense pressure to develop Seasons 2 and 3. Scheduled to premiere on December 26, 2024 and 2025, respectively. In an interview with Time, Wong revealed that the constant creative process and pressure from expectations had seriously affected his health. He even lost at least 8 teeth due to stress while filming the first season. No one expected that Squid Game, originally just a one-season Korean series like many other works, would become a global phenomenon, winning 6 Emmys out of a total of 14 nominations. And bringing Netflix nearly $900 million in value, more than 40 times the production cost. The resounding success of Squid Game reshaped South Korea's position on the global pop culture map, far surpassing K-pop. Icons like blue uniforms, dalgona candy, and triangle circle square masks quickly spread around the world, and created the premise for countless spin-offs, from Mr. Beast cooking shows to both reality and online games. Although Wong confessed that his main motivation for continuing was money, since he did not receive a fair return for the first part, he also affirmed that the second part would be bigger and better, solving many knots such as the fate of the shot police officer, the identity of frontman, and the revenge of the main character Ji-I Hun. The system game, art and crazy, unexpected success, but not without a price. Squid Game is like an unexpected explosion. Netflix wanted a hit, and Wong just wanted to tell the story he had been nurturing for more than 12 years. When success came, it came with a series of consequences: creative pressure, commercial pressure, and the gradual appropriation of the system. Wong no longer made art films for himself. He continued to do so at the request of a global content machine. The winning smile of Squid Game Part 1 has now become a shadow over its creator, Netflix, from player to game coordinator. The biggest irony is that Squid Game was originally an indictment of the cruel capitalist society, but has now become a brand that has been commercialized to the teeth. Netflix expanded its brand from games, toys, advertising, to Johnny Walker Squid Game version. Companies like Burger King, Xbox also quickly parasitized on this cultural heritage. Netflix itself is doing the same thing as the game controllers game in the film, exploiting the situation, characters, and viewers' emotions to maximize profits. Wong Dong-hyuk, from storyteller to debt collector. Wong once said that he had no plans to make a second season, but still intentionally left a few knots open just in case. And now, he is paying the price for those knots. The pressure comes not only from money or Netflix, but also from public expectations. The first season was shocking in part because of the element of surprise. Now, with all eyes on it, the question is, can the second season surprise again? Where will the characters and the world go? Wong hinted that the second season will delve deeper into Ji-I Hun, the most miserable winner in television history, having lost all humanity and loved ones. Ji-I Hun returns not to play, but to turn the tables, which will turn him from a victim into a threat to the system. At the same time, the identity of frontman, played by Lee Byung-hun, and the police officer, frontman's younger brother, are also revealed. Perhaps the second season will delve into the psychology of those who reject the system but are eventually swallowed by it. The long game art before the commercial trap. Squid Game Season 2 is a risky bet, not only for Wong, but for Netflix as well. It is not just about Ji-I Hun's revenge story or the mystery of the masks, but about the internal struggle between meaning and profit, art and the global entertainment machine. In a world where the poor are forced to play to survive, now, filmmakers themselves must play, write more, shoot more, expand, to survive in the giant industry. The most important question now is no longer who will win the game, but, will Squid Game retain its original spirit, or will it become another version of the very thing it once criticized? We are all playing the same game. It's just that not everyone realizes when they've entered the game. Dark theories about Season 2 feed's plot, revenge, exposure and a new order? When the first season ended, viewers Hun, the last survivor, would use the reward money to atone for his mistakes and live a peaceful life. But the unexpected ending when he turned his back on the flight to the US to start his journey to hunt down the organization behind the death game has sown the seeds for a second season full of chaos, revenge and potential twists. So what scenarios are fans and analysts putting on the table? Let's uncover each hypothesis. Hun becomes a double player, an insider or a new boss. One of the most prominent hypotheses is that Hun will disguise himself as an operator to infiltrate the system. His blood-red hair, gloomy demeanor, and determination to do the right thing at the end of Part 1 led many to believe that he would slowly infiltrate the organization as a kind of insider, personally gathering evidence and destroying it from within. But there is also a completely opposite theory, that Hun may be attracted by power and gradually become part of the machine he once hated. He saw the attraction in the game, a place without status, without family background, where people can trade their lives for a chance to change their lives, even if cruelly. And so, in his journey of revenge, Hun may become a new frontman, a coordinator, but with his own ideal, to create a fairer version of the Squid Game, where he controls the rules of the game. Detective Jun-ho is not dead and is the key to exposing the organization in Part 1. Detective Jun-ho was shot and fell into the sea after discovering the shocking truth. The operator was his own brother, In-ho. However, Jun-ho's death has not been clearly confirmed. No body, no funeral, in television, that is always a sign of a return. If he is alive, Jun-ho could be hiding, waiting for a chance to strike back, with the drive containing the data he once collected. Jun-ho's return could even be the factor that causes the organization to begin to crack from within, especially if he manages to attract Hun as an ally, or leak evidence to the media. An extremely attractive theory is that Jun-ho is the real narrator in Part 2, playing the role of observing, leading, and eventually exposing the organization from an outsider's perspective. 3. Rise of the Old Players, Battle of the Survivors. One fertile ground that Season 2 could explore is the network of former Squid Game survivors or participants in previous seasons. Although Season 1 only focused on the most recent season, details suggest that the organization has been operating for decades. So where are the former survivors now? What are they doing? Have they turned their backs on the game, or become part of it? One theory is that a resistance group of former contestants is quietly forming. They may have accumulated wealth and power and are planning to retaliate, or create their own version of the game. A dire scenario could be, the survivors are forced to fight each other. This time not for money, but for ideology, and the winner will decide the future of the entire system. 4. Frontman In-ho's past. What is his true nature? In-ho, the former winner of the game, now becomes the moderator. This is one of the most important knots to unlock the entire logic of Squid Game. Why did someone who had experienced such horror agree to join the ranks of the coordinator? Was he forced, or did he volunteer? One hypothesis is that In-ho once made a secret deal with the founder, the old man Oh Nam, after winning. Maybe he couldn't find a way out in the real world, and returned to the game as the only place he could control. Season 2 will most likely delve into In-ho's past, revealing the previous seasons, and the process of him gradually exchanging his conscience to become a tool to maintain the system. A more painful possibility. In-ho did so because he believed he was helping the players escape their miserable lives in the most cruel way. If so, could Season 2 be about idealism? Saving or accepting reality by turning it into an orderly playground? 5. Global expansion. Squid Game is not just in Korea. A small but curious scene in Season 1 was the presence of English-speaking VIPs from many countries. That revealed that Squid Game could be an international network, not just taking place in Korea. Season 2 could expand to branches in the US, Europe, even Africa or South America, where the poor, the indebted, or the marginalized are all potential targets. This expansion would not only increase the scale of the story, but also reflect a global message: injustice and class disparity are not the privilege of one country. If this happens, Ji-hun and Jun-ho may have to cooperate with resistance groups abroad, or even infiltrate other Squid Game seasons to expose the entire network. 6. The New Order. Squid Game overthrown, then reborn? The final, and most painful, theory is that the game will no longer be